Hi guys. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are all well. Having a great day. A good week so far. Happy March. It's March 1st. So I've been going through my inbox and came across a very interesting question. Um, the asker asks this: several months ago, when I first began exploring paganism, I found myself drawn to a particular goddess. Since there was such a strong connection, I performed a dedication ritual to her and have honored her ever since. Now, however, I feel I'm being called by a different goddess. I'd like to honor both, but I'm worried it might seem as disrespectful to the first one if I rededicate to the second. Can I change my affiliation respectfully, or may I dedicate to multiple deities? I know many believe one should only dedicate to the god/goddess or a specific pair of deities. That's a really interesting question, and it's a question that can have a variety of answers depending on your particular flavor of paganism. I know that in some pagan traditions, people dedicate to only a single god or goddess of that of their tradition's pantheon. In other cases, they may dedicate to a pair of deities. Occasionally, people may feel a connection with deities from different pantheons altogether. It happens. It does happen. Paganism and Wicca are definitely, I feel the spiritual path between those two faiths are so broad and so open that if you're being called by a goddess or god that is outside of your particular path of paganism or Wicca, if you're being called by that deity, then that you're being called for a reason, and you don't need, you shouldn't ignore it. I just think that human spirituality tends to be somewhat fluid, in that while we can honor one deity, we can also be called by another one. Does this mean that the first deity no longer has any effect on us? No, that is absolutely not the case. It just simply means that there's another aspect of the divine that finds us interesting. I think that if you generally feel called by the second deity, and from this person's email it seems pretty clear that they do, and if whoever's watching this, if you're in the same boat, I would consider exploring things more in depth. As with anything, do your homework, do your research, find out who's calling you, and see if there's a real connection between you and this other deity, before you just rush on into anything. Make sure you do your homework. And if you feel that you are being called by this deity, and it's something that you really, really would like to, if you want to pledge yourself to this deity, just ask the first goddess if she would really be offended if you honored another one in tandem with her. After all, the deities are distinctly different beings, so honoring a second goddess doesn't necessarily mean that toes are, going to be stepped on or anything. My opinion is, if you're fortunate enough to have been tapped by the divine, not just once, but twice, then I feel that you should regard that as a gift. In my opinion, would be that as long as another deity doesn't have any kind of, as long as both deities don't object, I guess, to the presence or worship of the other, I think that everything should be fine. Just treat both with respect and show them each the honor that they deserve. So, that was a really good question. Thank you. And I appreciate that. It made me kind of go inside my brain and pick apart, what I was going to say and why. So thank you for the question. It made me learn something. So, but that's my response. That's my opinion. Like I said, thank you for the question. I loved it. I love getting questions. So anyone has a question, ask it, and I will do a video response to it. So please comment, video respond. I would love to hear what you have to say. So until next time, guys, blessed be.